What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Hendrick BMW Charlotte. We're going to take a look at this 2022 BMW X5 sDrive40i. So huge shout out to them for providing this SUV for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. I'll have all that info down in the description below. But the X5 that you see behind me is finished off in photonic blue metallic and it has an MSRP just over $70,000. To start off today's review, we'll take a look at what powers this specific X5. So underneath the hood, this has the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine, and it's paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out 335 horsepower around 5,500 RPM and 330 pound-feet of torque as low as 1,500 RPM. This model also features the 11 horsepower electric assistance motor. It is rear-wheel drive, weighs in right around 4,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds, up to its top speed of 151 miles an hour. That is with the limiter removed. And it has a fuel capacity of 21.9 gallons. You can expect to see around 21 miles per gallon in the city and 26 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 117.1 inches. Its overall length is 194.4. It has a width of 78.9, a height of 68.7, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.7 inches. And now as we work our way to the exterior for this X5, let's start off with these LED headlights. So you'll see the housing has a really nice design to it. This does have LED DRLs. You can see there in a half C-shaped design running underneath the headlight and the high beam with the LED turn signal right in the outer corner. There's also a really nice trim piece on the upper section of the housing just to make it blend in a little bit nicer. As we work our way to the grille now, you'll see we have the kidney design finished off in gloss black. There's the integrated forward-facing camera nicely placed right in the middle, as well as all of the parking sensors down in the lower section of the bumper. This also has really nice vertical slats that run throughout the grille, and it does have the active grille shutters. So those will open to help provide better cooling and aerodynamics to this model. And you'll also notice there's plenty of cutouts down in the lower section of the bumper. Also over in the corners, you can see there are air inlets, so this will help provide better aerodynamics. You can see a really nice pattern in the lower section of the mesh as well, along with some really nice contoured lines right on the corners of the bumper. And the hood has some really nice lines flowing all the way down to the BMW logo right on the top of the hood, just to give it a really nice front end appearance. And as we work our way to the side now, this model has the 22-inch wheels. They measure 9 inches wide. You can see they have a multi-spoke design to them, as well as a two-tone finish. I really like the silver and all the gloss black accents. You'll see more gloss black on the trim piece just behind that, along with all the contoured lines running down the side profile. So you can see the fender arches have a really nice design to them. There's also a line that tapers off, and it goes all the way to the back taillights, as well as down in the lower side skirts. This model also has the full moonroof. You can see more of the gloss black on the roof racks there, as well as surrounding all the window trim. We have the body colored side mirrors that are gloss black on the lower section. They have the integrated turn signal as well as a camera system, and I will show that later on in today's video. And with all of these lines, it really has a nice side profile design to it. And then finishing up in the rear, you can see the body colored spoiler. There's gloss black on the sides to help blend it in with the rear glass. Third brake light is located up top, along with the wiper blade down in the lower section. This model does have LED taillights and turn signals. They have a really nice design to them. You can see the backup camera right in the middle, along with all the parking sensors. There's really nice trim down in the lower section of the bumper, just to help break up all of the blue. You can see the gloss black surrounding the exhaust tips on both sides. And now with the exterior out of the way, it's time to take a look at the interior on this X5. So this is the key fob for it. You can see unlock and lock, as well as being able to open up the power liftgate. But with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, all I need to do is walk up to the vehicle. You'll see it will automatically unlock and fold out the power mirrors. So I can grab on the door handle, of course, and we can move on to this door panel, where you'll see we have ivory white leather running along the armrest. Really nice stitching. There's black leather and stitching on the top section. Brushed aluminum surrounds the release handle as well as lock and unlock. We do have the memory seating adjustments as well as the power liftgate release. You can see all of the window controls along with the side mirror adjustments. This particular model also has the ambient lighting, so you can see that running along the armrest. We have a 10-speaker audio sound system and a lot of storage space in the lower section of the door. And then as we work our way to the interior, you can see the M badge down on the door sill because this model has the M Sports package. And working our way to the ivory leather seats, you can see they have a really nice design to them. They are heated, so there's perforations running down the middle. You can also adjust the forward section of the seat just by pulling on this tab. You can pull that out or push it in just to give you some more comfort. And then down on the side, you can see all the automatic adjustments. Now it's time to take a look at the interior on this X5, and I have the driver door opened up all the way. You can see just how easy it is to enter and exit. We have the grab handle there. As we work our way to this M steering wheel, you'll see it's completely covered in solid black leather. We have the M badge. This is a heated steering wheel as well. You'll also notice all of the brushed aluminum. It's covering the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters as well as all of this trim. And to use these controls on both sides, let's go ahead and start this up. So with my foot on the brake, we have the engine start stop button. Of course, it's finished off in aluminum, and we can fire this up. And then looking at this digital gauge cluster, you'll see over on the left side is the fuel gauge as well as miles per hour. On the right side is the engine temperature as well as the tach. You can also see a picture of the map right in the center. So when you do have that on and running on the center screen, it's really nice to see that on the gauge cluster. You'll also notice some more information that we can toggle through just by using this button on the top section of the turn signal stalk. You can see some data right now. If I push on it again, you can see live readouts for horsepower and torque. So you can see those adjust as I give the vehicle some gas. You can also see a G-force meter. We can pull up the radio. You can look at what gear you're in as well as the driving mode for the vehicle. Currently it is in comfort mode right now. You can see a live readout for the MPG. So it's really nice to see all of that right in front of you. As we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, there's a small compartment down below where you can place some items. We have all of the headlight and parking light adjustments. You'll see there is one air vent with more brushed aluminum as well as some wood trim just to give it a great look. The entire dash is covered in leather, and this model has the heads-up display. So currently I'm seeing the miles per hour as well as the speed limit sign. And then right in the center is the 12.3-inch touchscreen system. However, you can use some controls down below in order to go through all this information. So you can see map and navigation as well as home. There's media and phone, the rotary dial right in the middle, as well as back and option behind that. So right now on the home screen, you can see the navigation. You can also look at media and phone. If I scroll over, you have some data information as well as the compass and local traffic conditions. And then on the last page here, you can see the date and time as well as the weather and any news. So it's really nice to have all of that right in front of you. If I bump over to the left on this rotary dial, now we can go to basically the favorites over on the left side here. So you can look at media and phone, pull up the navigation. If we go into car now, you can go into your vehicle status, your settings. You can go into the different driver profiles. So if you have multiple people driving this vehicle, you can easily set all of that up. You can also go into your carrying car icon. You can look at the owner's manual. There's a few other things that you can go through. All of your settings, so you can adjust the ambient lighting. You also have your driver assistance. You can go into the different driving modes and configure everything from the dampening to your steering and engine, as well as your transmission. This model has the adaptive suspension with the M Sport package, so you can easily adjust all of that information. Go into your general settings as needed. You'll also notice too, we have more ambient lighting on the top section here, just underneath the brushed aluminum, along with the wood trim just underneath that. You can see two air vents right in the center, and we have a shortcut to the intelligent safety. So if you go in and configure this, you can look at your forward collision as well as your lane departure, your steering intervention, and your active blind spot. So it's a really nice shortcut to have. And you'll see we have a small LCD screen for all of the climates, finished off in brushed aluminum. It's nice to have those separate from the upper screen there. So you have the temperature for driver and passenger, as well as the fan speed right in the middle. A few other controls on both sides, as well as the heated seat controls for driver and passenger. You'll see we have some presets down below, along with power and volume for the radio. Seek and track is on the right side there. And then right in the middle, you can see the icon for the wireless charging pad on the left side. On the right side, you have some more storage, as well as two cup holders, a 12 volt and a USB. You can close this up where you'll see more wood trim along with brushed aluminum, and the ambient lighting surrounds both sides, just giving it a really nice touch. Right in the middle, we have the gear selector here. So with my foot on the brake, if I just push unlock and go all the way up, that is for reverse, of course, where you'll see the backup camera with the guidelines. You can even push on these shortcuts here to get a different angle over on that left screen, and you have an automatic one that will pull up the back camera there. You can go into the 3D system where we have more shortcuts. You can see around this entire vehicle, so you don't have any blind spots, which is of course great to see. And you can use the gesture control as well. So just by swiping my hand like this, we can go around the entire vehicle. You can do it either way, which is nice. And then last up, we do have the car wash setting. So if you're pulling into a car wash or even a parking space, you can utilize that camera, which is of course great to see. If I put the vehicle into drive now, you can see the forward facing camera. So plenty of visibility for this model. Park is on the back side there. Over on the left side, you can see traction control as well as a shortcut to the camera system. This will also pull up the forward-facing camera in full screen, so that is great to see. We have the parking sensors as well as all the different driving modes. So just by using these, you can see on the gauge cluster here, it will change. We have Sport Plus and Sport Individual. We can go down into Comfort. And then the last one is Eco Pro and Eco Pro Individual. You'll see we have an adaptive setting as well, along with the auto hold and the electronic parking brake. And then as we work our way to the center armrest now, if I just push on this aluminum button on the top, you'll see we have plenty of room in the center along with a USB-C port. And there's also a ton of room down in the glove box, so you can place in any items there that you'd like to. We'll take one last look at this interior. You can see the seat belts actually match too, which is a nice touch. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have the full moonroof, so I can just use that button in the top, and you'll see that will go all the way back to the backseat passenger's headrest there to provide a lot of light for this interior. You'll also notice up too, we have a call button as well as the dome lights. As we move on to the back seats now, you'll notice that the door handles have the same function as up front. So as I get closer to the vehicle, you can hear it unlock, as well as those side mirrors folding out. You can use this handle to lock and unlock the vehicle. So that is really nice to see. As we work our way to the door panel now, you'll see it's finished off just like up front. We have more of that ambient lighting, which is great to see. The two-tone leather as well as the wood trim. And as we work our way to the back seats now, I am 5'10", and you can see I have plenty of room with the front seat set at my height. You can see there's room for my feet, room for my knees, and above my head here, I have around 2 or 3 inches. So definitely plenty of room for the backseat passengers. You'll see these are heated seats as well. So we have the perforations, really nice design. I'll show those controls here soon. We have the armrest right in the middle, as well as a little bit of storage space. There are 2 cup holders on the front section. And the back seats have a 40-20-40 split. So if you pull on this tab right in the middle, we can fold down this middle seat here. You can have a passenger on both sides, place in any items that you'd like to, or you can fold down all of the seats to give you a lot more interior storage. Right in the middle, you can see we have the dual zone climate for the backseat passengers, as well as the heated seat controls. We have temperature and where you'd like the air to go, along with 2 air vents. You can see there's a little bit of storage space just underneath that, along with a 12-volt down at the bottom. And behind both of the front seats, you can see there's some compartments that you can place in any items you'd like to. We do have a USB-C and an adapter here, so you could hook up some tablets, anything that you'd like behind these seats, and be able to charge them at the same time. Now it's time to take a look at the rear storage area for this X5. I'm just going to use the electronic button right up underneath the BMW badge. On the X5, we have the split style for the liftgate, so you'll see the upper half open up. Down below, if I just push on this button, now you can see that fold down. Makes it great for tailgating. It also gives you a better load height, so you can see it's away from the rear bumper there, so you can easily load and unload items. And once we make our way inside, you can see just how much storage there is with the back seats up. We have a nice flat surface. There's tie-down hooks in all 4 corners, and we do have this removable cover, so you can hide any items that you'd like to. And then when you fold down the whole back seat area, you can see just how much more storage space there is, making this a very practical SUV. Over on the right side is a 12-volt along with another hook here. You can place small bags, groceries, any items like that. And then underneath the floor, this is assisted by a gas strut, so you can see it will hold itself up. We have the spare tire. You can use this for smaller storage space areas if you need to, which is of course great to see. And then with the power liftgate, you don't have to close each one individually. You can just push this one button up top and you'll see they will automatically close. All right, so getting this 2022 BMW X5 out on the road now. I've been in a lot of BMWs this year, and personally, I really do like them. The more that I drive them, the more that I really like all the features that are offered. And specifically on this model too, it's rear wheel drive. We have the M Sports package, so we get the larger wheels. We get all the exterior black accents, as well as the M steering wheel and a few other features. I think it's a really nice practical SUV that also gives you some performance to it. We have the adaptive suspension, as I've already mentioned too. So we have a really nice package for a great price. And like I said, it's very practical. As you've already seen in today's video, we have a ton of room for this model. As you've already seen, we can fold the seats down. You can basically use this every single day. If it's your only vehicle, it's a very practical SUV that you can put anybody in or put anything in the back there. So I really love that. I love all these features. Even the ambient lighting is a really great touch. So let's go ahead and pop it into the manual mode there. We can put it into Sport Plus and see how reactive these paddle shifters are. While we're at a stoplight here waiting though, I'll quickly cover visibility. It's very easy to see in all directions. The pillars in the back are really not all that bulky. Plus Plus you have the 360 camera system, so you really don't have any blind spots. It's not a loud vehicle either, but those paddle shifters are very, very responsive. That's impressive, even though this isn't the M competition model. As soon as I tap that paddle, we're into the next gear. It's pretty quick. It's very well insulated, so I can't hear any of the road noise or wind noise. I'm on a pretty bumpy road right now as well, so this will really test this adaptive suspension. I have it in Sport Plus right now, and it's absorbing all these bumps pretty good. Of course, that's going to stiffen it up a little bit. If I go into comfort now, you can feel a difference. It's really nice. It gives you that practicality again of being able to drive this every day, depending on how you like to drive this vehicle. So you have a few different modes, which is great to see. Hitting some of those bumps there, it's just like you would expect. And while we're looking at some of this technology, I can go over the center screen again. I used to think that this was very hard to get used to, but as I mentioned earlier, I've been in a lot of BMWs this year, and it's really easy to go through all this information. I love the fact that there's not too much information, but at the same time, you have what you need. So there's not an overboard or an overload of info, both in the gauge cluster here and the center screen. And so now as we switch to the POV angle, you can see what it's like to be behind the wheel of the X5. Look at this center infotainment system here. Visibility, looking over my left shoulder there, is really good, as I mentioned earlier. And we can get on a few twisties here while we get on the on-ramp for the highway, just to test the handling for this SUV. Not a whole lot of body roll so far. Brakes do a great job at bringing this to a stop. And with it back in the manual setting there, we'll take some of these twisties here. For what I can do today, that handles really well. I'm surprised there's not a whole lot of body roll. Quick left to quick right here. Definitely is very solid feeling, and we have plenty of power to get us up and merge on the highway. So while we are on the highway here, I can talk about the wind noise and the road noise just a little bit more as we're going faster, of course. You can hear a little bit of the cars next to us there, but honestly, it's a very comfortable ride. I like the suspension. I've been in Sport Plus. We are on a pretty smooth road, but it's just a very comfortable vehicle to drive. We do have all the cruise control settings over on this left side. I forgot to mention that earlier. We do have the lane keeping assist. Over on the right side is volume and tuning for the radio, along with the Bluetooth and the voice commands. So you have some nice hands-free controls on both sides there. And I love the position of these paddle shifters. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2022 BMW X5 sDrive40i. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Charlotte for providing this SUV for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. I'll have that info down in the description below. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.